the InfoWars, is an Obama administration front that strategizes with the White House on a weekly basis on how to influence and direct the media. I remember walking through a grocery store 3 years ago and seeing Obama's enemies list on the cover of a newspaper, and I read my name in there, and I'm like, wow. Then I confirmed through a source I'm indeed on an enemies list, huge FBI file, you name it. And then they had all these magazines and Nightline come out and say I'm evil and going to cause violence. And all it did was give us more credibility because these were just such discredited liars. But it is creepy. I mean, what are they going to try next? Because the Media Matters, out of the top 10 people they attack, I'm right in the middle. I mean, I'm attacked on a weekly basis. Other folks they attack on a monthly basis. There's only a few people they attack on a daily basis. I'm on a weekly basis. And again, it's not that I don't mind being attacked. It's that it's creepy to have people like this attacking you. It is super, super, super mega creepy. Yeah, here's the headline. Who's afraid of the big bad truth? KMOV TV. Last Tuesday, without any fanfare, the Obama administration, or campaign at the time, announced Jennifer Joyce and Bob McCullough, the top prosecutors in St. Louis City and St. Louis County, were joining something called Obama's Truth Squad. And then it goes on. They plan to respond immediately to any misleading advertisements and statements that might violate Missouri's ethics laws. No judge, no jury. They just say so. We want to keep this campaign focused on issues, Joyce told me. Missourians don't want to be distracted by these divisive character attacks. See, the police now are political officers, and the prosecutors, they will decide. The Truth Squad's plan is to identify false attacks and respond immediately with truthful information, Joyce and McCullough said. Truthful information like Obama is a Christian, because the police say so, with plans to cut taxes for everyone making under $250,000 a year. You notice that didn't happen. The Obama campaign says prosecutors from Kansas area and some rural areas also joining truth squads, and Jefferson County Sheriff Glenn Boyer also expected to be part of the team. Whether it's directly attributed to the campaign or to some of the soft money contributors, McCullough told me. So it's not the Federal Elections Commission now. It's they'll decide. If they're not going to tell the truth, then somebody's got to step up and say, wait a minute, that's not the truth. This is the truth. And then they went on in the newscast to talk about also arresting people and saying that, you know, Rush Limbaugh is going to maybe get in some trouble. It's a long article. It goes on and on. So if you want to find it, the headline, and there's video too. Who's afraid of the big bad truth? Of course, that's our headline. I forget what KMOV TV called it. Oh, we're sorry. The page you're looking for could not be found. See, that's why we save entire articles like that one. I remember getting the call by the webmaster going, we only post blurbs. Why are you saying the whole thing? I said, they'll pull this. First Amendment, document this type of terrorism against the public that the media engaged in along with them. Hey, have the IT guys, why the banner isn't working on that page? I want to find out why on older pages it's dead. Like, just print it and show it to them so there's no confusion about that existing that I just talked about right there. Or it'll turn into a 3-day investigation to find the link that isn't there when it's right there. Thank you. I said I'd go back to your calls, but let me hit some Ron Paul news that we already covered in the first hour, but we'll do it again for folks that want to hear it. Could Ron Paul still win Maine? And even the New York Times occasionally tells the truth and admits that he's getting the most delegates and that some of the precincts were shut down because of snow, and that they announced Romney the winner with 4% of the vote being in. And, of course, the same thing happened out in Nevada. 2% were in, and they announced him as the winner. Here's the Steve Watson article at Infowars.com. Paul campaign points to anomalies in Romney's Maine victory. Slams mainstream media suggests Romney may have had a hand in canceling key county caucuses. So, yes, Ron Paul is pointing out evidence of chicanery. Good job, Ron Paul. Of course, there's never election fraud in America. They've just pulled out the stops against Ron Paul, so it's a conspiracy theory to not trust known liars. You're just supposed to trust them. CPAC boss says Jeb Bush may be nominated at broker convention since Ron Paul and Mitt Romney right now are neck and neck for delegates that they may, or they may put Jeb in as the VP. Man, I got to tell you, I'm sick of the Bushes. I'm sick of Obama. But with Bushes, you don't just get banker puppets. You actually get really nasty, secretive black operators who gave you stuff like 9/11. Man, I tell you, I don't believe in lesser of two evils. And I got to tell you, I could not vote for another Bush. I could not vote for a Bush. And I couldn't vote for Obama. I guess it doesn't matter. It's like asking somebody, you want to bob for apples in this latrine or that latrine? I'm like, I don't choose to. And they're like, but you have to choose. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to climb into either porta potty and bob for apples. Those aren't apples. They're like, shut up, conspiracy theory. They are apples. I'm like, no, it's a latrine. It's a porta potty. That's not apples. They're like, shut up, it's apples. Let's go to Mike in California. You're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Alex.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm actually not calling from California. I'm calling from a little town called Camrose, just outside of Edmonton in Alberta, Canada.
Okay, Canada. I just saw CA and thought California. You're right. It's Canada.
No worries, Alex, the gay frog hater. Hey, listen, couple things. I played in a rockin' band for a long time. We played in bars all over the place up here. And I've personally seen an emergence of people that are really catching on to your message. I always wear my InfoWars gear whenever I'm on stage playing for people. And before, during, and after the shows, people come up to me and say, hey, did you get that from InfoWars? And, then they want to talk about it and whatnot. And side issue, that's just the one indicator of success on your part.
Our part.
Our part, that's right, Alex, that's right.
They can kill me, brother. They can kill me. They can kill Ron Paul. They can't kill all of you. And that's what I know is going to, if they kill us, that's the way it is. Keep carrying the ball. Just keep moving forward.
You got it, Alex. One more thing I've never really heard covered on here, and I don't know what kind of an issue it is, but I wanted to bring it up to you. I work on aluminum. I restore aluminum on oil field equipment, a lot of which actually goes to Texas from Alberta here. We're kind of like the Canadian Texas here. But anyhow, in the last 10 years, I've been working on aluminum, and about the last 3 years, with what they're using on the roads to make them safe from snow and ice and whatnot. It used to be just salt, right? But now they're using this calcium bicarbonate or calcium, I don't know what it's called, but I'm noticing that it's eating holes in the metal. And I've brought this up to some of my customers that the damage is a lot worse than it used to be. And they're telling me that it's actually eating out the wiring along the bottom of the frame of the truck and the harness and whatnot.
Stay there. I want to hear about this. I was aware of some of it. They're putting toxic waste in everything, not just our water. That's how they get it to buy us. Yeah, what's happened is big chemical companies and others have got all this toxic waste. And they don't know where to put it, so they have it mixed into metal alloys. They have uranium mixed in now with cement, DU mixed in with different metal parts on forklifts and things. And that's what they're doing. And I have actually seen some blurbs, but I haven't done much research into it, about all sorts of new chemical mixes that they're dumping on highways to, quote, keep the snow down, but that really it's that chemical companies have learned to lobby and sell to cities cocktails of chemicals that'll eat through ice, and it's just so they don't have to pay to store the toxic waste. They don't have to pay to have it shipped out of the country. They just dump it onto your highways. It's the oldest trick in the book. Take yard fertilizer. You notice the type for grass, it says do not put on gardens, because it's got heavy metals in it. Well, that just runs off into the water supply. And humans, it's not just the elite. Humans have always dumped everything in the river and let folks downstream deal with it. It's just good old-fashioned pollution. But specifically, what are you saying is in this stuff that's eating everything?
Well, they're saying it's calcium bicarbonate, but they've got a few different names for it. And like I said, it's eating the wiring out from the underside of the trucks, and it's actually scoring little holes into the aluminum that I have a real rough time getting out, and sometimes it's as high as 11 feet up on the top of, they'll have a cabinet on the back of a picker truck or something like that. And I asked them, well, if that's what it's doing to the metal and the wiring, then what do you suppose it's doing in the fine mist when you're driving down the highway behind these guys to your lungs? Because you are breathing it, or guys that live in the country or whatever. And so, I mean, just, by process of elimination, you can deduce that more than likely if it's eating holes in metal, it's probably not very good for us.
So you're saying this stuff's so powerful that it eats holes in just a matter of hours. It's not like regular salt where you've got to leave tons of it on metal and it takes months or even years. You're saying, how fast is this eating holes in the aluminum?
Well, let me put it this way. I've been doing this for about 10 years, and I've got customers that I would go and do their stuff once a year. And, I keep in regular contact with them, and within a month, they're telling me that it's eating holes in it. So that's pretty quick. And, I mean, you're talking about guys that are on the road pretty much every day. And not only that, but they're using the same product to put on the back roads for dust suppression. So it's year-round.
Unbelievable. Thank you so much. I appreciate your call. Tony in Idaho, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Good morning, Alex. Glad to talk to you.
Thank you.
Alex?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I'd like to relay a story to a couple of arrests I had last time I was thrown in jail. I am a follower of Christ, so you understand where I'm coming from. I'm a follower of Christ. I don't carry any of the marks of the world where they claim ownership of the carrier. So I've gone to jail so many times that I've lost count. And in the county where I was going to jail at, they got tired of paying for all these court costs and everything and jail time. So they started looking into the law to try to figure some way to keep me in jail for a long time. And the judge, the prosecutor, and the sheriff all ordered the deputies to leave me alone. And the reason I know this is because the very next day the deputy stopped me, and he held me for something like 30 minutes, threatening me, saying he's going to take everything I have. He said that they've ordered me not to do this, but as soon as they find out I can take you under law, I'm going to come after you, and I'm going to take everything you got and throw you in jail.
No, sir, you've hit the key to everything here. Why do you think police admit, even in the news, they're ordered to release illegal aliens? Because the globalists want them here to drive down wages and to balkanize the country. I'm not even blaming the folks for wanting to be here. They're fleeing tyranny into another tyranny, but one that isn't as bad yet. But that's why the illegals are above the law, is because they just keep coming back and they just ignore all these fraudulent globalist laws. Okay? Now, the globalists call you a sovereign citizen. They say you're the #1 enemy because when they bring in their cashless society, everybody's going to start imitating what you've done. And if you don't follow what they're doing, they won't be able to get their new world order. And so Agenda 21, all of it, is designed to bankrupt you and make you go into their compact cities to live in their government housing where you're forced to take the shots and all the rest of it. And so people like you who are completely dropping out of this corrupt system, you're the people they hate. And because they can't suck any money out of you, they're now leaving you alone. But I'd try to be friendly to them and explain why you're doing what you're doing. I got Ed Asner coming up, but after he leaves us, if you want to stay on hold, I'll go into some overdrive. I want to talk to you some more because this is a phenomenon everywhere.
Throughout the ages, architects and engineers have designed and built the great